largest things ever made?
These are supersized versions of regular things,
Oh, it's too loud.
including the world's largest
Is it too
slice
loud?
of pizza. Good luck trying to finish this in a few bites. It's gonna take a bit longer than that, given this
Oh
margarita
my God.
is over 1 mile
Like-
long. That's like a 15 to 20-minute walk worth of tomato, cheese, and dough. And if you're
What
someone who
happened-
isn't a fan of pizza crust,
What happened for like the start of the pizza? Like it stays there so long. Like at this point, it can become cold and stale and the flies on it.
don't worry. There's plenty of your favorite part to get through before you even get to it.
Yeah.
And since we're on the topic of record-setting snacks, I don't think anyone's gonna beat this one for a while. The longest cheese pull from a giant nacho chip on your hikes through the mountains.
my
An
God.
enormous cheesy nacho bowl left unattended is probably the weirdest thing you could possibly see. After
even a real nacho.
full-scale helicopter mission, a record of 49 feet of stringy cheese was smashed. But when you can't decide between American and Mexican cuisine,
oh my
why not
God,
combine the
burrito.
two? Just like Epic
Ew,
Mealtime did when they made a
no.
burrito filling of 200 McDonald's burgers, as well as bacon, pizza, and a lot
That
of
doesn't
fries.
really
To some people,
None of these fit together. Separately, they're golden, but together, not really.
stuffing
Like the flavor of the pizza doesn't go with the flavor of the burgers and doesn't go with the flavor of a
a
burrito.
burrito with Donnie's burgers is sacrilege. To others, it's the hangover breakfast of kings. And no pressure, but make sure you wrap that tightly, or there's gonna be a food avalanche.
Ew.
Giant food requires equally sized transport. That's why
bread there,
Oliver
too.
Tree took a hold of the handlebars of the world's biggest scooter. He just needs a little help getting up there. However,
cheating.
it may not be the most practical way of rolling
I don't
to your
think
next
so.
destination. And like they say, the
looks so
bigger you
funny.
are, the harder the fall. But that was the risk he was willing to take. Ah,
Oh,
the perfect
jeez,
gift
that
for
was
the
not
giant
him, that was
computer
the
nerd in your
toy.
life. The world's biggest keyboard and mouse to match it. With 5 meters between your shift and enter key,
Oh
each
my
game is a
God.
workout. Luckily, you don't need a giant mouse to click that like and subscribe button, but whatever helps. But it's still rodent-sized compared to the Hummer H1X3. This 4-wheeled monster would give Optimus Prime a run for his money. At
Damn.
nearly 7 meters high, you'd assume reaching the pedals would at least take 3 working days. But hitting the Safari no longer seems scary when you're driving something tall enough to make a lion look like a kitten.
True. Like, no, it's
This
so huge.
32-ton catapult is 60 feet tall and would strike
Do you
fear into
catapult
any
people?
castle attack. However, the guys at Top Gear had another idea in mind. Flinging a Citroen car back to France. Proof that some modern-day problems
Oh, we saw
require
this one where they
olden-day
pretended it
solutions.
hit the house, but it was scripted. Yeah,
Shit.
like it's planned.
If you've got some documents you want to get rid of, a standard paper shredder is your best bet. But if you need to destroy something with a bit more volume, then Mr. Beast has got you covered.
What did he
In
do?
fact, he made a shredder to put scrap yards out of business. So if you ever need to dispose of an old piano, vending machine, or just your spare Lamborghini that you don't want anymore, then here's your solution. Oh my God. All right. Accidentally hitting your thumb with a hammer is never fun. But
Why
getting
would
hit
you
by
do
this
that?
one would put nails in your coffin. Luckily, the world's biggest hammer
I can
isn't
survive
used
that.
manually, and nobody needs to hold this giant nail either.
Do you think you would feel this
And
death?
this tool for building is actually built to destroy. Everything in this video would look normal size
Yeah,
to
don't do
someone
that
with
at
hands
home
like
because
this
you
guy.
have a huge hammer at home like that one.
The real-life Incredible Hulk can crush metal,
Dude, look at his big hands.
make
I
a
remember I
burger
saw
look like
this. Yeah.
baby food,
Oh
milk
my
cartons
god.
miniature,
You should play this sport with the hands.
and a basketball looks like an
Hand
orange.
wrestling or whatever it's
His hands are so enormous that his high fives are practically illegal. Mark Rober built a Nerf gun capable of ending all wars. Subtlety wasn't guaranteed, but power definitely was, with bullets able to break glass and travel the length of a football field. Not only were battles with his nieces and nephews
Oh
a surefire
no, you're
victory, but also
crazy?
losing Nerf darts was no longer an issue.
Ouch. Is that painful? Doesn't it looks
Nobody does
painful.
burgers quite like America. And even Godzilla would find it difficult to fit this record-breaking patty in its
Ew,
jaws.
that meat. Ew, too much meat.
210 pounds of ground beef, 10 pounds of cheese, 15 pounds of veg, and to make it complete, 4 pounds of...
And they're like touching it with their hands like that. Oh my god, I'm so disgusted. Like they don't even have gloves on.
crispy bacon. After all that,
Ew.
40 people were needed to chow it down. Forget the foot long. The Chicago-style hot dog measures 40 feet. That's more than double the length of a Burmese python. And Conan O'Brien was lucky it even fit on stage. Never mind gift bags. There's enough sausage there to feed everyone in the audience.
We're just gonna leave it there all night and see what happens.
These guys claim the record for the highest ever Lego tower, reaching a height
don't know
of
why. I love food, but
114
when it's too
feet
big
and
now.
11 inches. The key to setting this record? Wearing shoes. If you know, you know.
I don't know.
You know what they
What if
say,
that falls
before you
down?
judge someone, walk a mile in their shoes. But if their shoes are this size, a mile doesn't even feel that far. These kicks would even have too
I like
much
this.
toe
This
space
maybe
for
for
Shaq.
a shoe shop.
This skateboard gives
fun.
its riders a little more leg room and promises to
I
really
don't like
catch
people
attention at the
wasting
park.
food either.
It's 12.5 times bigger than a regular board.
Oh my
turning
God,
a
you're not
solo
on a
sport
board
into a
then.
group activity. Just don't fall off. The ground is a lot further away than usual.
You guys, he missed the wheel by this much. That was
When
so
riding the tallest
dangerous.
bicycle, surely a full suit of armor is needed with a helmet. Richie Trimble took on the challenge, and fortunately for him, he was able to stay on the saddle. Oliver Tree, take notes.
Oliver
If anyone
Tree.
tells you something as easy as riding a bike, make sure you show them this.
California.
Giving in to craving
Thank
for
God they
McDonald's
came
chicken
and
nuggets
helped.
can't be helped sometimes. But usually our appetite isn't this large. Jay and Romel made the biggest box of nuggets ever with 100,000 people.
Just give me sweet sour sauce and I'll be there. I'll
Inside.
yep.
And having cheat days
I don't
now
mind
and then
this.
are okay. But if it's a 4.3 million
Why,
calorie
man?
cheat day, then you'll be trying to burn that off for years. Next-gen consoles will set you back financially, but not as much as the one ZHC made. He spent $70,000 and 100 hours crafting the ultimate gaming experience. This supersized
Wow.
version of the PS5 stands at 10 feet tall with a controller to match. All you need now is a world record gaming chair. Ah, shopping carts. Sometimes used for transporting your groceries, and other times used for transporting people. This
Thank you,
motorized
Punchy.
mega cart is
I
suited
love
to the
chicken
latter,
nuggets.
providing its riders with an
McDonald's one.
adrenaline-fueled trip across the city.
You ride in the big cart, right? How many groceries does it? How many bags does it?
You actually got 165 paper bags.
Everyone has that one friend that has a smartphone so big, it barely fits in their hands. But YouTuber Matthew Beam decided to build an iPhone even bigger than
What
a
is the obsession of people with making big things? I know it's the whole video, like
whole
making
person.
big things, but still.
So strap on your Jordans, because you'll need to jump like an NBA player to get into any selfie you take.
60 plus 9.
Or you can just
Breakfast is supposed to be the most important meal of the day.
Just
so make it
cereal,
count.
marshmallow?
These guys took that pretty seriously when they created a bowl the size of a jacuzzi. Surely a 6-foot-tall spoon at breakfast gives some serial killer vibes, but it was needed for the over 700
Why am I watching
pounds
three
of
naked
marshmallows and enough
guys?
milk to drain a whole
in
cow.
milk.
This complete breakfast.
Ew, this is so disgusting.
This
This
not
doesn't
so
feel
pocket-sized lighter blurs the line between a candle burner and a flamethrower.
How is this
and
allowed?
unless you want to pick up eating fire as your latest hobby, choosing the standard version for your birthday cake candles is probably the safest. Keeping to your New Year's diet just went up a level in difficulty. Each sprinkle weighs as much as your average pastry. When it comes to breaking a world
Okay.
record, this guy got a hole in one. But he's gonna have to keep a low profile when every cop in America is trying to get their hands on his creation.
I want to try. I want to buy that one.
These YouTubers made a not-so-lap-friendly laptop that prioritizes power over portability. If you want to put this on your legs for late-night Netflix binges, then do so knowing you won't feel them in the morning. All it needs now is a world record backpack to carry it.
I think the word cool comes to mind.
These rubber ducks are for your bubble baths. Instead, the 59-foot tall quackers took to the waters of Hong
Please tell me these are always there.
Kong. Not exactly the type of sea monsters to
Oh
strike
my
fear
god,
into
they're
sailors.
so cute. I want to look at cute stuff every day.
If you're struggling to make a protein smoothie big enough to handle your gym requirements, then this blender is here to save your gains.
Challenge accept. Oh
Handling
my,
whole
that
melons is
controller
no
went
problem
all
for these
over
blades.
the
But who
place.
wants to clean that up afterwards?
No, thank you.
Man, there's not much in there, right? It's all out. There's like
Yeah,
very
maybe
little in
closing
there.
it would be a good idea.
When tasked with dealing with a large pest problem, the backyard scientist built a mousetrap big enough to slay anything in its path.
Solo.
Luckily, no raccoons or giant mice were actually harmed in the testing of the device, but nobody's gonna be in a hurry to steal his Amazon packages from now on.
Yep. Wow.
Fighting for the best spot on the couch is no longer necessary with this TV. Whether you're far or nearsighted, gaming without your glasses on isn't an issue with this many inches of screen.
Cool.
This giant truck put the monster in monster truck. 17 feet above the ground gives Whistling Diesel a whole new perspective of the road. And getting into a car crash with this beast isn't the main worry. It's getting literally bulldozed over by its wheels.
Could they create
Life
these
is
cars?
all
Where
about
can you even
perspective,
drive this?
but
Maybe
not
in
this
American
case.
roads.
This
but
arcade
not in
machine's really
Europe.
that big. He wanted users to remember how it feels to
Dude,
be
I could
smaller
not
than
even.
everything.
Oh my
without
god,
making
this is so me. This is how I feel every day with everyday size things.
them shrink. And having a 15-foot tall arcade machine will certainly do that. Now, why do I have the sudden urge to play Space Invaders and Pac-Man?
Funny versus real size. I know.
If you can't decide
This is how
between
it
traveling
feels
by
like, you
train or
guys.
limo, then this 100-foot super stretch.
Even in my kitchen today, I had an argument. You know these folio things that like I don't know, like these aluminium folios and stuff, and we put them like up on the highest thing, and I cannot reach them unless they are peeking a bit out. If they are totally inside, I have to jump to grab them, and they were not peeking, and I was so mad because I told Adrian to keep them peeking all the freaking time, because if it's not peeking, I need like ladders or something, and I had to call him to come and do it for me because I couldn't do it. And I hate these small people problems.
Car is for you. The world's longest vehicle makes parallel parking an Olympic sport. So be prepared for multiple parking tickets every time you go to the store.
I need to buy ladders, by the way.
This
like
computer's so
small
big,
ladders for
it
the
needs to be on
kitchen.
wheels. It's so powerful, it could store the
controller.
universe's data on it. And surely
I
not
need
even
this
GTA
PC.
6 can turn out a PC that size.
I need it, but that's not a PC.
Is
That's
there
for
even
people
such a thing as
dancing
too much
inside.
chocolate? The creators of the largest chocolate bar ever certainly don't think so.
Wait,
this
is it actual
50,000
chocolate?
foot long chocolate bar is the Titanic of all confectionery, bringing Willy Wonka's version to real life.
Wait, can I lick that? Is that
You
real
choose
chocolate?
the healthier option, but it comes in size XXL. It took 5,000 pounds of salmon, 500 pounds of cucumber, and the Great Wall of Rice to roll up this sushi. So next time you choose the healthier alternative on the menu, check the calorie count. Turns out
my
the bigger
God.
the racket doesn't translate to the better swing in tennis, unless you're going for a home run instead of a killer serve.
That's how you know you're short. You have a racket that doubles your height and you still can't reach it.
Not only the biggest, but the brightest flashlight brings a heavy, but a damaging option to your self-defense game. If blinding your enemy doesn't work, then you can always go into strike mode. It's so bright, it can light up a black
This
hole
is how
in
I
the
felt when I
galaxy.
couldn't reach the aluminium this morning.
And if that's not the most random invention you'll see today, this definitely is.
A
Can you
rocking
even say you've competed
chair.
extreme sports until
Oh
you
my
ride
God.
a dirt bike off the world's biggest rocking chair? A
How are
piece of
people so
furniture normally
fearless to stand
associated
there
with
in front of
grandparents
him?
and knitting just took a twist. Standing at almost 10 feet tall, this chair promises to rock your world. If you want to see a Warhammer fit for the gods, then look no further. Chris Hemsworth may have a tough time dealing with this version of Thor's weapon, though. And being on the receiving end of it will send you straight to Valhalla.
People really love gravity.
They say it's hard
They
to
love
reach
to
the
abuse it.
handlebars on a chopper. Well, in the world's largest motorcycle, it's even harder
You're
just
not
to climb
even
aboard. 6
motorcycling,
times
you're
larger
sitting
than
on a
standard
ride.
motorbike. This 5-ton monster is over 5
Not even like
meters
controlling
tall.
it. What is he doing?
There's nothing like an omelet made from 10,000 eggs. In this Belgium festival, hundreds of chefs and volunteers
Please tell
crack,
me-
beat, and cook
please
eggs
tell
before
me they
pouring
eat
it into
every
a
single
comically
bit
large
of it.
frying pan. It takes a team to stir the omelet as it cooks before being served to the
Oh,
crowd with a
nice.
side
It's
of bread.
served. That's nice.
If Godzilla ever invades the city
Yeah,
again,
I would love that. I
think
eat
our best
omelets
plan
almost
is to
every
invite him to
morning.
this cookout. This massive barbecue is equipped with a fire pit and smokestacks able to cook up to 8,000 pounds of meat. So that's at least enough to keep them preoccupied for a little while. But in the more likely event you want to get friendly with the whole neighborhood, this is the way to do it. What's cooler than a fire-forged sword that can cut through anything? I'll tell you what, a giant sword. Luckily for all of us, learning how to fight on the battlefield with these things isn't an essential
Were
life
those
skill
real
anymore.
pigs?
Instead, weapons like these can bring Fruit Ninja the real life.
There's no way I would have the energy to even hold that up.
Whether you want to make the biggest burger, a titanic bowl of cereal, or just a larger-than-life companion, Blossom is your cow.
I'm Patty Hansen, and this is my friend Blossom.
This huge heifer is the tallest cow in the world, standing over 6 feet.
It's Milka
If there's
cow.
anyone on the farm you don't want beef with,
Moo.
it's her.
Moo. Moo, bitch.
Roller coasters are great and all, but the real daredevils of this world want to drive around the loops themselves. And what a better way to do
Hot
that than fulfilling the ultimate kid's
Wheels!
dream
I
of
love
real-life
it.
Hot Wheel cars.
I love Hot Wheels. Whee! Oh my god, I want to do
Wreaking
that one
havoc
time
in
in
your
my
childhood
life.
room to testing your nerves against a
think it's dangerous?
6-story high double loop.
How dangerous is this? I don't need to be the driver. I can just sit next to a really professional
This is what
driver.
happens when anime meets real life. Yokohama, Japan is home to a replica Gundam-style robot that actually moves,
Transformers.
standing over 18 meters tall and featuring 24 moving joints. It's ready just in case of a kaiju attack. Marcus Daly's the proud owner of the world's largest hot dog cart, measuring in at 12 feet, 2.75 inches in height,
I saw a
and
pee-pee on
23
top. Oh,
feet
no,
and
it's just
2
a
inches
burger.
wide.
I mean,
this
hot
oversized
dog.
novelty is actually a full-functioning restaurant.
Damn.
Romario dos Santos Alves is obsessed with looking like the incredible Hulk.
Sure. The Incredible Hulk. Yeah. So disgusting.
So much, in fact, he spent most of his life chasing one title, the man with the biggest arms. Wow.
Dude, he literally pumped those with steroids. Like, you can literally see that.
Weightlifting isn't enough to sustain this bulging physique. Romario turns to oil to pump up his arms.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. I said let him cook.
You think we're idiots? You think Omelette made that?
You're a big kid that never quite grew up. The world's largest air hockey table is the ultimate toy. Built 10 times larger than your regular version, they needed 2 industrial blowers just to get the right air pressure. Do you ever wonder how they signed those giant
Man, I love the
novelty-sized
first couple of
checks? With a giant
seasons.
pen, of course. Measuring at 5.5 meters long, it's so heavy. It needs at least 5 people to lift it into position.
What's the point?
All those
Why are
years
people
messing
obsessed
around
with these?
finally paid off when this guy created the largest paper plane in existence. 122 inches long, the classic design still holds up in the flight test.
True, man. Quagmire.
Most
with
people get
two-
defensive when you point out they have a big mouth, but not Francisco Domingo. He's the holder of the world's widest mouth, opening to 6.69 inches without stretching. But his main party trick, however, is fitting things in his mouth that just shouldn't be possible. Swings are no longer just for kids in the playground. This swing in China is one of the
No, thank
biggest
you.
in the world. Swinging daredevils over a cliff with nothing between your dangling feet
It's
and
really
the
not worth
massive drop
dying
below.
for.
I have a feeling one push is more than enough.
I don't think it's worth
When
dying.
it comes to breaking records, size does matter. But luckily, you don't have to reach very
I mean-
far to hit that like and subscribe button. See ya!
Okay. If you say so.